Last class we had done with chapter 1. Okay, so today I will summarize first what we had learned in chapter 1 before I proceed to chapter 2. Can someone at the back close the door? Thank you. Before I summarize, I just want to understand from all of you, what have you learned in chapter 1? I just want to know from your point of view, what you have learned in chapter 1, what you understand. Doesn't matter if you just answer, I don't understand anything. Because I know some of you still coping with the course. Okay, what do you understand? Yes? Process synthesis, okay. What? Yes, how to design, how to sketch for the BFD and BFD. Okay, other than that? What do you understand from chapter 1 so far? I just want to have your feedback. Or you don't understand anything? I need to improve my lecture. Okay, so I summarize what we have learned in chapter 1. Basically, chapter 1 is the introduction part. The introduction to the stats, the plan, the activities that you should incorporate while designing your design of the plan. Okay. So in chapter 1, what you should know is, because chapter 1, the title is Sustainable Design. So how, at the end, how you can come up with a sustainable design? Okay. First of all, you need to know what is sustainable design, the definition, and also the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars. Still remember what are the 3 pillars that you should meet the scope in your design? Economic, environment, huh? Okay. Pollution is environment. Economic, environment, one more. Huh? Society. If health issue fall in which category? Health issue. Environment, society. Society plus also the environment because they correlate. Okay. Okay, then from there, once you identify the definition, you need to fulfill the 8 principal objectives. Okay, what are the 8 objectives? We go back to the earlier slide. Okay, this one. This is what I meant by the 8 principal objectives. Okay, so basically it involves your resources, recycle, pollution, profitability, okay, yield, capital, quality control, and safety. Okay, so all of these covered by economic, social, and environment. The 3 pillars. Okay, where the resources, the mass and energy conservation, this one involve the environment. Recycle and reuse, environment. Plus economic as well. Pollution, environment. Plus social. It involve the residents. Okay, profitability enhancement, economy. Yield improvement, which pillars? Yield improvement, which pillars? Huh? Yes, economic. Okay, capital productivity, economic. Quality control, enhancement, environment, social, economic as well. Those 3. You need to control the quality of your product, how it affect the social, perhaps let's say pharmaceutical product. So you need to control the quality. If the quality of your product is not up to the standard, so it will harm the people. Okay, enhancement. So quality control to enhance your product quality. So you need to do some retrofit perhaps, optimization. Then it involves the economic. Enhancement of your quality. Perhaps you need to add on some catalyst, add on some other raw material perhaps. So is the process will produce any pollution, then it relates to the environment. Okay. Process safety, social, environment as well. Okay, so all the objectives should cater the 3 pillars, relate to the 3 pillars. Okay, any questions so far? Now, after the objective, we go for the process integration. Process integration, where you need to know what are the key drivers to this process integration. Means the factor that you need to integrate your process. Okay, then the activities involved in the process integration. Okay, this one, we refer back to the slide. Okay, these are the key drivers. The point, the factors why you need to integrate your process. Okay, so it can be more than this. It depends to your process plan. But this is These are the general key factors, key drivers. Okay. Okay, how to do the process integration? These are the activities. You need to identify what are the things to be integrated. Then target. Okay, target here, perhaps you have how many % of yield to focus on. Okay, or if waste pollution, perhaps you need to meet standard A. So you need to reduce your concentration of your waste. Okay, for example. Then generate an alternative synthesis. Set your target. Then from there, you need to generate few alternative synthesis. Okay, usually minimally 3. Okay, minimally 3. Then from those syntheses, those alternatives, select which one is the best by comparing few factors. Okay. From there, choose one. Then only you analyze in depth for the selected alternative synthesis. Okay, these are the process integration activities. Okay. Now, after that, we learn about process synthesis. Okay, this process synthesis, it has 5 elements. I haven't go through in details yet, just that contained in one slide. Okay, 5 elements. What are the elements? Okay, let's see. Where's this one? Here, synthesis step. Slide 15. In my slide lah. Perhaps in your slide check what is the slide number. Okay, so these are the process synthesis steps. We will discuss in detail in chapter 2 later on. Okay, so considering these 5 steps in your process synthesis. This one, it involves the chemical reaction. Point number 2 is about recycle system, input output recycle system. Then this one, the separation. Okay, eliminate differences in composition. You want to separate the composition. So this point is the temperature, pressure, phase change, how you want to control them. Then this one, after everything, all these 4 steps above complete, then you integrate in one complete PFD. Connect each other in one complete PFD. Okay. Now that is synthesis step. After synthesis is the process analysis. Okay, once you identify what are your input, output, all those things after you come up with, let's say, this PFD. Okay, come up with the PFD, process synthesis. Then you should do the process analysis. How? Usually through simulation. Simulate it, whether it can be run or not. Is there any error along the way? Okay. Okay, after process synthesis is process analysis. This part is when you predict and validate your project, your process. Okay, so this is the part 1 in chapter 1. After we finish the process analysis, we start the hierarchical approach design. This one is part 2. Okay, where after we had done all the things, the definition until the process analysis, then we move towards hierarchical approach to process design. So meaning that after you identify your process, now we move forward to design the complete PFD. Okay, in this part 2, what you learn is the design sequence. Here, this 5 is important for you to memorize and understand how to elaborate further. Okay, this 5, the design sequence. The first one that you need to identify whether your process is batch or continuous. Then identify your feed and product. Number 3 is whether you need recycle structure. Okay, number 4, the separation. What are the separation units that you need? And then number 5, the heat exchanger network. Okay, is there any possible heat exchanger network to be done? Okay, part 2, we learn about these 5 points. Elaborate further. Okay. Okay, part 1. So part 2 is the design sequence. Okay, have 5 steps. Okay, those are the one that we have learned in chapter 1. Any question? Chapter 1, which is covered in CLO1, covered by CLO1. So CLO1 will not be covered in midterm. Okay, will not be covered in midterm. But part 2, the design sequence is important for you to understand because it relates with chapter 2 later on. Okay. It's all related actually. In chapter 2, we will learn in details on the process synthesis and the design sequence. Okay. Chapter 1, sorry, CLO1 will be covered in projects, in your projects. Okay. If you try previous midterm questions, perhaps it covered CLO1. Which one? That one is in previous semester. This semester, I removed CLO1 from midterm because it will time consuming during your midterm. So I want to focus more on chapter 2 and chapter 3 in your midterm. Get it not? Okay, in previous midterm question, you can try also chapter 1 question. From there, you can understand. Just want to show you the example. Wait. Wait. Okay, what I meant is this one. Question 1 over here. It asks you to using one sustainable process for chemical production. Elucidate 3 principal objectives of the sustainable design. The 3 principal objectives. This 3 principal objective is the part from the 8 objective just now. Okay, so using one sustainable process, you need to come up with your own process. Give example. So from that one process, you elaborate further the 3 principal objectives. Okay, for example, what are the resources, the raw material that you take for your sustainable design? Let's say you use waste, so that considered as sustainable. Okay, and then perhaps any recycle involved. Wastewater perhaps can be recycled. And your waste, how you can relate it with the sustainable design. Okay, so this kind of question will not be asked in midterm, but it is good for you to know. Okay, because this one covered by CLO1. Okay, so question 2 over here. From the process that you mentioned in question 1, it asks you to explain 5 hierarchy of process design. This is the 5 hierarchy. Okay, so from here you need to explain using your process stated. Then based on the process, based on the hierarchy, then construct the process flow diagram. Sorry, based on the hierarchy of process design. So question 3 is not related with 1 and 2 anymore. This is new statement. So from here, you need to construct the process flow diagram from the statement given. Okay. Now, question 1 and 2 over here, it is an open-ended question. So it depends to the process that you choose. Since this course is already in year 4, so there might be a lot of open-ended question. Okay, case study. So that's why in the lecture, during the lecture, I always share with you the case study so that you can understand how to apply all the stats, the sequence, the objectives, everything. Okay, this is no more memorize and writing the answer only. Okay, C4, sorry, year 4 up to C5. That means you should be able to analyze and design. Okay. You can check in details in your CN. January 2023, I haven't upload. I will upload later. Okay. So any question before I proceed to chapter 2? Question from chapter 1? Can I?